It's been a cold grey week at home, but Friday at last showed some signs of promise. I needed to go and look at an aeroplane near Callington, not far from the River Tamar. I could have driven, that would have been a lot quicker. However, you know the rule, time to spare, go by air. This often happens when it's cold and damp. I think it's carburetor icing. We scowl at each other for a few seconds and then have another go. Whilst the engine warms up, I deal with things like GoPros and load my gear into the aeroplane, including the Llewellyn bag. With a well-finned crankcase and a motor completely out in the breeze, it takes some time for the oil to warm up. Without much breeze, I'll take the southeasterly runway today. Just like my Labrador in the back of the car, I rather like sticking my nose out of the window, but unlike her, I don't have big fluffy ears. They get cold. As I head east, the cloud base lowers and in places is reaching the ground. Carradon Hill is just ahead of the flying wires. The 1,000-foot mast is obscured by cloud. Looking to the east, I can just see Rame Head, but the cloud base is lowering all the time. I spot the airstrip ahead, a couple of miles southwest of Callington. It's on a slope, sloping up to the northwest, so I intend to land up the slope, and when I leave, take off down. To add to the fun, there's a flock of sheep on the runway. They're actually on the lower part of the runway. I don't need all the slope anyway. I was intending to land near the top. I had a good look at the Super Cub. It's a really nice one of the last ever built by Piper, 150 horsepower. If the owner doesn't mind, then we'll take a camera along next month when I fly it. I stayed about 30 minutes, but it started to drizzle and the beacon on the top of Kit Hill disappeared into the gloom. It was time to head off. I followed the main road from Callington back towards Liskeard and spotted quite a curious feature. The road appears to have been straightened. I've driven it many times. It's a good fast road, the sort of road in which motorcyclists and the Grim Reaper occasionally meet. To the right of the straight is the old road on the other side of the green field, making its way up towards the village of Merrymeet. I assume this road had been straightened and modernised in the early 1930s, as many were, partly to cope with the increased traffic and also to provide employment during the Great Depression. But I was very wrong. The road was constructed in 1761 as a turnpike or toll road, one of many built by private enterprise following an Act of Parliament. The turnpikes did much to improve Britain's road network, and by the late 1870s most had been incorporated by local authorities. I passed Cornwall services on my way into Roach, Turnip King having given way to Burger King. The whole field is usable in the winter, so I picked a touchdown point just beyond the southeasterly runway, on the rough grass to the left of the main runway. Bingo! I realise this is my last flying film of 2024. Thank you for the subscriptions, comments, emails and WhatsApps. You'd be amazed how much traffic this channel generates, and I enjoy them all. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next year.